What's up guys? Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com. So in today's video, I'm going to show you two simple tricks for beginners to make sure you're editing your groups properly in SketchUp. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. And so I will say, having taught thousands of people how to use SketchUp at this point, grouping is one of the things that I see beginners struggle with most. And it's partially because the way that SketchUp handles geometry when you create it is a little bit unique, in the sense that when you create objects in SketchUp, they're all made up of raw geometry, right? And this raw geometry merges together if you ever have something that runs into something else, right? So like, for example, if I have this box and I move it against this other box right here, what happens is you get this kind of like stretching and deforming geometry, which sometimes can actually be really valuable, right? And it makes sense when you think about it. Like, this is basically, if you move this face, all of the geometry touching this face moves with it, which is why you get this kind of like distortion and broken object effect. However, we don't always want this, though I use this very much when I'm creating things like cabinet doors that need to be adjusted. But generally speaking, especially for beginners, what we want is we want everything to be grouped. So, for example, if I take these two objects and I group them and then I put them together, like so, notice how this geometry doesn't merge anymore. In fact, this geometry doesn't merge to anything because it's in a group, right? It's in a container that prevents it from interacting with other geometry in the model. And so when we're doing something like a floor plan, we want to group our geometry so that things like your doors and windows are grouped separately from your walls so that everything interacts in an easy to follow way. Because otherwise, if you go through and you just extrude your model to 3D like this, and you have just a bunch of raw geometry in here, it becomes very difficult to manage and change really quickly. So as a general rule, what we like to do is we like to group our walls. And I like to group my exterior walls and my interior walls differently, just because sometimes I either need to toggle my exterior walls off, or I need to have them have different line weights, and so I need them to be in different groups, right? And so the first thing that beginners should be doing when they're creating things like this plan, you need to group before you extrude to 3D. Because at this point, for me to go through and try to separate out all of this 3D geometry from my interior walls to my exterior walls will be a real challenge, because there's just so much of it in here. Like, you could definitely do it. It's much easier though to group before you extrude. So to group before you extrude, what you're going to do is you're just going to go into a top-down view. And I actually prefer to do this before I draw the interior walls. I like to group my exterior walls, but we can go back and pick that up. It's not that big of a deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start picking up my exterior walls. And one thing that I find helpful in situations like this is don't hold the Shift key when you're doing this. Hold the Control key. Because what the Control key is going to do when you click and drag is it's going to put you in add only mode. Well, add only mode is going to allow you to add any geometry that the selection box touches if you're doing a right to left selection like this. So I can just hold the Control key and come in here and just drag boxes around the exterior geometry in here. And one other thing really quick, sorry, this isn't a selections lesson, but this is something that can be really helpful. If you click and drag from left to right like this, you're only going to get objects that are fully inside of that selection box selected. But if you click and drag from right to left, anything that selection box touches is also going to get selected. So in this case, I'm doing a right to left selection, and I'm just picking up everything that this selection box touches in here just by drawing selection boxes like this. And if you ever need to remove something, you can hold Control and Shift in order to go to remove, and then anything I click and drag over here will just get deselected. But now I'm going to right click and I'm going to group this geometry. Well, now I can just pick up the rest of this geometry and put it in a different group like this. Well, now I've grouped before I've extruded. And so what that means is that now in order to extrude this, I just have to double click into this group right here in order to extrude this geometry, but it's already separated based on the fact that I grouped it before I went to 3D, which is pretty much always what I recommend. Now, when we extrude this up, let's say that we were going to draw 10-foot walls right here. Now they're all going to be contained inside of that group like this. And so now when I double click out of this, notice how the whole thing shows up as a group, and this geometry isn't going to be merging with everything else in your model. So that's thing one. Group before you extrude. The other thing that I find extremely helpful, especially for new users, is when you're working inside of a group like this, there's a subtle visual shift that happens in here when you double click into the group. You pick up this bounding box right here, which indicates to you the external bounds of everything contained inside of this group. It's a visual indicator that you're editing inside of a group instead of just editing raw geometry. So that's part one of this. The other part of this is not only do you get the dotted lines in here, there's also a fade on everything else in your model. Right? So when I'm editing inside of a group, everything outside of the group fades and you don't see it as well. But the problem is, especially with your settings, this might not be enough of a visual indicator for beginners because they're trying to figure all of this out, right? I understand if you're a complete beginner, you're just working on trying to figure out making the geometry look the way that you want, right? It's really easy to miss that you're editing a group. So one of the things that I recommend is if you go up into your window, model info, and you click on the option for components, there's two options you should pay attention to. The first is fade rest of model. So what fade rest of model does is this allows you to set how strong the fade is when you're editing a group. So notice if I drag this to the left right here, and you can really see it if we look at this object right here. If you drag that all the way to the left, the visual look indicating what you can edit versus what's outside of your group is very strong. So if you're a beginner, I definitely recommend taking this more towards the lighter side than the darker side. This allows you to see, okay, I'm visually inside of a group and I'm editing it. The other thing that I find helpful, and you don't have to do this, but I like to do it, is there's an option over here for hide rest of model. When you check the box for hide rest of model, and let's go over here to one of these that I've done a little bit further. So when you toggle hide rest of model on, it's literally going to hide everything that's not in the group that you're editing like this, so that you can really only edit the stuff that's inside of a group right here, right? So hide rest of model is actually really helpful for hiding things that you're not working on so that you can focus on what you are working on. And so that visual indicator is very helpful for new users because they can see exactly what they're editing, right? And I even set this hide rest of model to a keyboard shortcut. So if I go to Window, Preferences, Shortcuts, and I look for hide rest of model right here, if you just do a Shift H after you've clicked into this box and then click on the plus button or whatever you want the keyboard shortcut to be, you can actually set this up where you can toggle this mode on and off whenever you're editing just by doing a Shift H on your keyboard. And so this is something I find extremely helpful is now you've got a really good visual cue of, okay, I know I'm in the group that I'm supposed to be in, and I'm editing what I'm supposed to be editing. All right, so that's just a quick tip, but if you're a beginner, I highly recommend you utilize it. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that I talked about. If you do want to learn more tips and tricks and other strategies for learning to model in SketchUp, make sure you check out the SketchUp Essentials course on this page. But as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.